Hey guys, what's up? It's the Hacker13, and in this video, I want to make as fast as possible. I'm going to be showing you on how to downgrade firmware 3.1 or 3.1.1 to firmware 3.0. As you can see on my iPod Touch, I'm already running 3.1.1. And I forgot to mention, this tutorial only works for the iPod Touch first and second generation. So if you have an iPod Touch third generation or an iPhone, this tutorial will not work. So as you can see, I'm running Windows Vista, and I currently am running iTunes 9, and I believe iTunes 9.0.1 will work, which is the new update for iTunes, and I believe iTunes 8 will work. So first thing you want to do is download the iPod Touch 3.0 firmware, and I currently have the iPod Touch second generation with me. But if you can find the original iPod Touch 3.0 firmware somewhere in your computer, you want to bring it to your desktop. If you can't find it, you want to go to this website, which I'll put in the description, felixbruins.d-ipod-firmware/ right there. And you want to go to that website, and under iPhone and iPod Touch, so the website looks like this. Under iPhone and iPod Touch, you want to click the arrow. And if you have an iPod Touch 1G, you'd want to select 1G 3.0. If you have 2G, you want to select 3.0. I'm just going to show the 1G 3.0 download. So then you click download. And the website isn't as the same as it used to be before. When you would click download, it would directly a download window would pop up and you could save it, but now it just searches it through Google. So then you just want to go to the first website that pops up on Google. So in this case it's Mega Upload. So this is for the iPod Touch first generation. Well, this download link. And then you just type in the code right there and it will download it, and you want to save it to your desktop. As you can see, I have already saved a firmware folder in my videos folder. Don't ask why. I already have all of them. This is the one I need, the iPod 2.1_3.0. And you also need to know how to put your iPod Touch into DFU mode, but don't worry, I'll be showing you how. So the first thing you want to do is unplug your iPod Touch. So you want to unplug it so iTunes does not recognize it anymore. And you want to make sure USB plug is still plugged in. And basically, to put in DFU mode, you're going to end up plugging it at the same time. You're going to be plugging in the USB cable, and at the exact same time you're going to be holding down the home and the power button. So I'm going to do it here. So I'll just explain it. You plug it in. Mine's not plugged in yet, and at the same time hold down the home and the power button. And after 10 seconds you want to let go of the power button but leave down the home button for 30 seconds. But before all this doing DFU mode stuff, you want to make sure your iPod Touch is on, and you want to hold down the power button, and you want to slide to power off. Make sure it turns off. So once it's fully turned off, like I said, plug in the USB cable at the same time, hold down the home and power button, and then for 10 seconds, then let go of the power button and leave down the home button, and it'll put in DFU mode. So ready? You want to get it ready. It doesn't have to be the exact same time, but you want to make sure you plug in the USB cable before. So ready? So I'm holding down power and home button, and the Apple logo should pop up. And that iTunes thing should pop up, and then it should turn off. 3, 2, 1. Now I let go of the power button, and I just leave down the home button. So as you can see, I'm just leaving down the home button for 30 seconds. And that should be about enough. So once it's in DFU mode and plugged in, your computer will recognize it as in recovery mode. So this tutorial works for Windows and Mac, but I believe the control is different for Mac. So you want to click OK, and it will say in recovery mode, but it's actually in DFU mode. So as you can see, the name will just have iPod, but then it won't have any of these: capacity, software version, serial number. And if you decide to change your mind, you can always get it out of DFU mode by just restarting it. But so what you want to do is, this part's kind of tricky. For Windows users, it is the Shift button, which is right there. And I believe for Mac, it is the Control button on the keyboard. This is basically what you want to do. You want to have so the mouse is hovering right over the Restore button. And basically you want to hold down the Shift button, not for too long. So while your mouse is on that, hold down the Shift button. It's kind of hard with doing this with one hand. Hold down the Shift button and then click. So it's basically Shift click. So you hold down the Shift button on your keyboard, then click Restore, and a window will pop up. I believe for Mac it's the Control button, but I'm not sure. Then you want to browse through your computer and look for the firmware. And as you can see, it's the iPod 2.1_3.0. So I'll select that. I'll hit Open. And then it will say extracting the software. So right now your iPod Touch shouldn't be doing anything. But then it will say preparing iPod for restore. And your screen should go white and then it should go black. So right now it's just preparing it. Then the Apple logo will come up. And it'll still say preparing iPod for restore. And just to talk for this time right now, remember to subscribe to my channel, as if a lot of you guys are waiting for the 3.1 jailbreak, so am I. I've already uploaded a video on how to jailbreak 3.1 on Windows, but it only works for the iPod Touch first generation, the iPhone first generation, iPod, and the iPhone second generation. And I've uploaded a second jailbreak video, which is basically just talking about when the full old devices jailbreak will come out. So remember to subscribe if you're waiting for the jailbreak, because right when it comes out, I'm going to release a video. So back to the downgrade process, it will say restoring the iPod software. And if you look on your iPod Touch, it should have the Apple logo with a little bar. And once that bar is fully filled up, that means the restore is finished. So I'm going to come back when the restore is done. Alright, so once the jailbreak is finished, it should say your iPod has been restored to factory settings and it will restart. Please leave your iPod connected. And it will restart, and then iTunes should recognize it. So it's been restored to factory settings on the firmware 3.0, which means, in other words, you can jailbreak now. So the iTunes with the USB plug should pop up on it. And iTunes should recognize it. And it will ask if you want to set up as a new iPod. So, just to show you guys proof that this isn't fake, go to my iPod, go to Settings, General, About, and there you go. I'm currently running 3.0 on my iPod Touch, which means I can now jailbreak. So if this worked for you guys, please subscribe and rate 5 stars. See you guys later.